we are putting two trolling lures head to head in a battle today to see which one prevails, the cheap one or the expensive one. Let's head on over to Bass Pro Shops to go pick out our lures for today's challenge. Actually, it's one. Fish on, fish on. Woo! Putting on a show for us. We got a freaking nice thing. Oh shoot, nice hit. Oh, Bass Pro Shops, baby. Fish on, guys. On the Yo-Zuri. This is what we've been waiting for today. Absolutely epic fish. So basically, in conclusion, alright, as you can see, we are here at Bass Pro Shops. We're gonna head on in, go to the fishing section, and pick out the lures for this head-to-head competition. Alright, so we're over here at Yo-Zuri, which is some of the best trolling lures that you guys can buy. Now you can see these prices are pretty high. You got $15, $13 for the slightly bigger ones, $10, $8. They're very expensive, very high quality lure. So those Yo-Zuris are going to be our expensive baits that we're going to be trolling. Now, in order to save just a little bit of money with this challenge, I'm going to be using the baits that I already have at home, which is, I believe, this one right here, this nice blue color 3D prism finish. And then, now I can't find the exact lure that I have back at home here, but it's gonna look something like this color right here, except for a little bit more brown and a little bit more yellow. So what we're gonna do is head over to the Bass Pro Shops lures, which are the cheapest lures that you guys can find here at Bass Pro Shops. And we're gonna be looking for something with very similar colors to these Yo-Zuris that we already have. So let's head over there, let's pick out a lure. And in case I forgot to mention, for this challenge, we are going to be using trolling lures. So we're going to be taking two lures, the cheapest one and the most expensive one, and we're gonna be trolling it behind the kayak. Could be miles of paddling ahead of me, but we're gonna be trolling the two lures, putting them head to head the exact same way. Alrighty, we have found our cheapest lures. You guys can see here, $2.69, this entire bucket. So we are going to scavenge through it and find the lures that look exactly like our Yo-Zuri lures we already have. And here are the three lures that we found for our competition. Once again, $2.69 each. Now these colors don't exactly represent the ones of the Yo-Zuri, so what we're going to do is head back over to the lure aisle and see if there's one that's maybe slightly more expensive but better represents the colors of the Yo-Zuri. So we're going to head back over and see what we can find. So I was not able to find any other lures that were anywhere close to that Bass Pro Shop lure price range, so we're going to stick it out with the Bass Pro Shop. So we're going to put in Bass Pro Shop lure head to head with Yo-Zuri today, trolling behind the kayak, and I'll see you guys out there. Good morning, guys. Today is the day of the challenge, the Bass Pro Shops versus Yo-Zuri trolling lures. We're going to be putting them head to head today to see what we can catch and which lure is worth your money. As you can see, it is a beautiful morning. It's about 7 o'clock. We're about half an hour past sunrise, which is a little bit later than I wanted to get out here, but I am still a little slow moving in the morning. But we have an absolutely beautiful, calm morning here on the water. Very picturesque here in Fort Pierce, Florida. And we are going to be targeting all of our inshore species that we have here in the Indian River. So we have snook, trout, redfish, jack crevalle, barracuda, ladyfish. The species are endless, guys. We're gonna be trolling our two lures. So this right here is going to the Yo-Zuri lure we're going to be starting off with. This lure is our expensive lure, and this lure is gonna run you about $15 at Bass Pro Shops. And then moving on over here to our cheap lure, we have our Bass Pro lure. This is our Bass Pro lure. It's supposed to imitate a mullet by its silver, gray, and black colors. This one's going to dive about the same as the other one. This one will dive down to 3 feet. The other one will dive down to 4 feet. This one is a little bit smaller in size and a little bit different in color. This is going to be our Bass Pro Shops lure that runs $2, about $2.50. So we're going to be putting this Bass Pro lure up against the Yo-Zuri $15 lure to see if it's really worth it to buy that $15 lure. All right, I've already seen some really good fishy action this morning while I've been talking to you guys, so let's get trolling. Now during this challenge, we're not only going to be trolling these lures. To be honest, I don't fish with these kind of lures that often, as I prefer to just go with the topwater plug. Or if I'm not going with the topwater plug, I usually just go with some sort of swimming bait. So I don't really fish these lures that often, but I am going to be trying to toss them around too and casting them at schools if trolling them doesn't work out so well. But first, we're gonna give trolling them a shot. Paddle around on this absolutely beautiful morning out here in Fort Pierce, Florida. All right, I believe we just had our first hit, and it was on the Bass Pro Shops lure. Hoping he didn't get hooked, but hopefully he comes back. But I don't want to call that 1 point for the Bass Pro Shops lure yet, but that's the only hit I've gotten so far today. And they are both distance out about the same length. You know, I don't want them to be on top of each other, but I want them to be the same range. Oh, either we got a fish or we just got bottom. Oh, we got a fish on, guys. Fish on. Fish on, here we go. Feels pretty good actually, whatever it is. Oh, we got two fish on. We got two fish on. Oh God, we're hooked up on both balls. This is awesome. I gotta find out what it is first. Uh-oh, we got a catfish on one, which means we're gonna have a catfish on two. Uh-oh. Here we go. Laying up the drag. Oh God, we're wrapped around. That is no bueno, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like to get one catfish off. Oh shoot, we are wrapped. Okay, open the bail. We got one wrapped up around the piling. Oh, this is a disaster. Oh, we got a mess. We got a freaking mess, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. Yep, this is what we're dealing with right here. Okay, let's get this guy off right now. Hooks are sharp, I can tell you that much. Aha! We are out, guys. Wow. That is a miracle how I just got that untied. Whew, that was... Talk about a recipe for disaster. Wrapped around the pole, two catfish on at once. I mean, there was not much of a worse scenario we could have gotten ourselves into there. And just for the record, no, I didn't state these rules beforehand, but catfish don't count as a fish. Catfish should be negative points, but I'm not going to take points away from anything. Now we have to figure out where this catfish went. Oh my God, we got a baby catfish, guys. We snagged a baby catfish. Okay, I will get this guy off, finally clean up our mess, and I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Fish on, guys. Fish on, fish on. Oh, we still got him on. Oh shoot, oh shoot. We got two fish on again, guys. Oh shoot, that's not good. Man, fishing two poles is tough here. Ooh, we got looks like we got a ladyfish, guys. Woo, putting on a show for us. Yeah, that is a ladyfish all day. Wow, okay, that's awesome. Hey, it's not a catfish. It's not a catfish. But isn't that funny that both times that we hook into a fish here, we double up immediately. The catfish hit both of them, and then now we got a ladyfish and something else on the other one. Hopefully we still have something on the other one. I haven't looked at it in a little bit. Okay, here we go. This is 0.1 for the Yo-Zuri. Wow, this is honestly, this is a big ladyfish. And he is hooked pretty gnarly right through the gills. When you guys are using this kind of stuff, make sure you guys are using pliers with treble hooks. because these treble hooks will get you in the hand and you're not gonna have a fun day. Okay, so here we are. This is our ladyfish. You guys could see those gills. Unfortunately, got caught up in the treble hooks, and this fish is definitely not going to live, unfortunately, because I was ripping his gills trying to get that treble hook. It hooked him pretty bad there. So these things make good bait, and they also I might end up cooking him for a little catch and cook for you guys. There was some recipe that I found for actually fish fritters, and if you guys have ever heard of conch fritters before, it's yeah, so it's you guys will see if I end up making it, or we're just gonna use them as bait. But either that or he's gonna be dolphin / shark bait, so we might as well keep him here. So we're gonna throw him down in the well, keep him there for a minute while we figure out what we got on the other line now. Hopefully, if we still do have a fish. And we do not. Unfortunately, we lost our second fish. We're empty. Oh my God, there was a dolphin. Wow, that scared me, guys. You guys couldn't see it on camera, but 10 feet away from the kayak right here, a dolphin popped up. You guys see that wake moving right over there? That is the dolphin. There he is. We're gonna take care of this ladyfish. We're gonna brain and bleed him so that way he's not flopping around the kayak. Throw him on some ice and continue on fishing. Actually, it's one. Oh, fish on, fish on. Fish on, guys. Whew. Oh, we lost him. Oh, guys, that was a good hit. I thought he was still on. He was just... Oh, okay. That was a good fish, and guess what? Bass Pro Shops, baby. Bass Pro Shops lure hit it. Definitely wasn't bottom. That was definitely a good hit. Man. Dang. Let's get it back out there. I caught that on camera for you guys, too. I was trying to tell... Sorry, I'm dying a little bit here. I was trying to tell you guys something, and all of a sudden that hit came. Whew. Maybe I should try to tell you guys something more often. Maybe that's what brings a fish, when I don't shut my mouth up. Anyways, as I was saying, I just want to give a quick shout out to Joe Williams. He is a subscriber of mine, and he commented recently on one of my videos and actually suggested doing this kind of video of doing a cheap versus expensive lure and comparing them to see if it actually makes a difference in the amount of fish that I produce. So shout out to you, Joe. Thank you very much for watching the videos and commenting. Guys, if you haven't already, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe down below. It really helps me out a lot. Drop a comment down below, other video ideas you guys want to see, because as you can see, Joe Williams put down a comment there, and I'm out here making it happen. So if you guys want to see anything in particular, make sure you guys drop a comment down below. Let me know. I also just love talking to you guys in the comments. So hop in there, say hi, say what's up, say something. Fish on, guys, fish on. Nice hit. Oh, I think it just broke me off. Oh no. Oh shoot, I think he just got me off. That was a nice fish, whatever that was. Oh, he came off. Oh, guys, we just had a nice fish on. I think I got it pulling some of the drag there. And guess what, guys? You won't believe it. Bass Pro Shops, baby. Bass Pro Shops lure is doing the work. Wow, that was a good fish right there, too. It had a huge jump. Now, I will tell you guys, I did stagger the lines a little bit, but the Bass Pro Shops lure is getting it done this morning. Wow. Getting more for my $2.50 than I am for 15 bucks. All right, let's get our lines back out there. Go get them, Bass Pro Shops. So because it made the jump that it did, it limits the amount of species that it could have been, because there's a lot of fish that are not acrobatic like that and would make a big splash like that. So it's either a nice sized snook, could have been a tarpon, or really a ladyfish. Those are pretty much the three main fish that kind of do aerial acrobatics like that. here that are inshore species. Other fish like trout or redfish really wouldn't jump as much like those other 3 fish would. Fish on, guys. Whew, I thought I caught a little bit of grass, but it turns out we got a fish. What do we got here? Looks like a little Jack Crevalle. He's got a lot of spunk in him for a little guy. Like I said before, these treble hooks are no joke. You do not want to catch some of these to the hand, so be very cautious. All right, sorry there's a little water on the camera, but here's our fish. Actually, it might be a blue runner and not a Jack Crevalle. I'm gonna have to look it up and let you guys know later, but here she is. We're gonna release her. There he goes. And you guys saw, that is point for Bass Pro Shops right there, getting it done. Whew. You know what I think I'm gonna do to give, since Yo-Zuri is getting a little bit of a whooping right now, we're gonna swap out the Yo-Zuri for a different color. We're gonna keep the Bass Pro Shops one on because this one's kind of killing it. I mean, it's getting a lot of bites here, but we're gonna switch out the Bass Pro, see if, we're gonna switch out the Yo-Zuri, see if we can get some luck on a different color. So this right here is going to be the Yo-Zuri lure I'm going to be switching out for. It's a nice blue with a little silver belly on it. And this one is actually really fancy. It's called Weight Transfer System. So as you guys can see by this drawing over here, they optimized this lure for you to be able to get the absolute longest cast with the best performance of this lure. So I'm going to be tossing this lure, and it has a little bit smaller of a lip, so it's going to dive a little bit less deep, which is good because I've been fishing a lot of shallow water over here and getting stuck on bottom a lot. I've also seen a ton of bait blowing up over there in those islands behind me, so I'm actually going to hook this on, head over there, and try casting this lure at them to give the Yo-Zuri a chance. Alright guys, whew. It's probably been a good 40 minutes since I caught that last little blue runner or jack, whatever it was. I can tell you, I am definitely feeling the burn. The sun is coming up, or it has come up a pretty good amount. Go all Florida summer here. It's heating up to a nice cool 90 degrees out here, and I am sweating as I'm sitting here paddling against this current that is just ripping hard against me. It's very nice going the other way. Not so much this way. So we're gonna paddle, get a little closer to home there, and come up with a new game plan. And yeah, stick around. So we stopped here at this island over here, absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted to do some fishing from shore because look at all the bait fish, guys. Look at the whole school of bait fish. I could see them from the kayak. Guys, look over there. Those are some mangrove snapper. Look at all that bait fish. And you know, there's one thing I've learned is where there's bait, there's fish. So I'm sitting here tossing out the Yo-Zuri lure to try to give it a shot to catch some fish to redeem himself, since I think personally that Bass Pro Shops is in the lead right now. And I'm just retrieving it a couple times, and I saw a small snook follow it back. So I'm going to continue to cast this out. You know, like I said, guys, where there's bait, there's usually fish. So I'm going to wait it out here a little bit, cast around, just enjoy the day. I mean, look at this. There's beautiful godsand. Gorgeous island, uninhabited, bait fish. How does it get much better than this? Guys, we just got hooked up into a snook. Oh, I saw the snook. I switched it up to the Bass Pro lure. You guys can see right here because the Yo-Zuri wasn't getting anything. I reeled in, snook came practically to my feet, wouldn't hit the lure, tossed it out 20 feet over there, instant blow up, but we lost them. Let's see if we can get hooked up again. The Bass Pro lure getting it done again. Well, I guess it didn't get it done because it didn't get the fish to the shore here, but brought the interest to the fish. One thing I will say though about the Yo-Zuri versus Bass Pro lure is that the Yo-Zuri casts much nicer. It casts further, and it's just a much more smooth cast. This lure kind of just slaps out there, I feel like. So there is that. This Bass Pro lure, when it's in the water, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's very erratic. It's just going around everywhere, making crazy zigzags. The Yo-Zuris are a little bit calmer, a little bit I would say more natural of a swim. I feel like this one just is a big attention grabber because of how much it moves around in the water. Fish on, guys, on the Yo-Zuri. There we go. Hopefully it's not a catfish because I did see one of those. No, it is not. It looks like it's going to be a Jack Crevalle. There we go, on the Yo-Zuri. Nice. We'll flip them up on shore here. There we go. Point for the old Yo-Zuri. Alrighty, here is our Jack Crevalle on the Yo-Zuri lure. See you later. Those Jack Crevalle always put up a fantastic fight, guys. A lot of fun to catch. I hope one day to catch a bigger one because I haven't caught a very big Jack Crevalle yet. Get a big 20-pounder and those some of the best fighting fish in the ocean down here. All right, let's see what else we can get hooked up into. Fish on, guys. I just turned off my GoPro from that last clip of catching that Jack, and we hooked up into another fish. Very next cast, same thing on the Yo-Zuri. That Yo-Zuri is putting in work right now, trying to catch up to the Bass Pro Shop lure. I tell you, I do love the way that this thing casts, but I'm just not a fan of triple treble hooks on it. Oh, looks like we found Jack Country here. Hopefully this isn't the same Jack that we just fought, but we have another one nonetheless on the Yo-Zuri. Nice fish. Still fun to catch. I'd catch these guys all day. Get the hook out of him here. There we go. Jack Crevalle. See ya. That way, buddy. There he goes. Okay, another one for the old Yo-Zuri. We are going to keep tossing them around here. We are going to grab the kayak over here and keep making our way around the island because this is quite a large island over here. And honestly, I'm having a great time here, just sitting here in knee-deep water, casting around, catching some small jacks, snook and everything. Just having a great time here. And honestly, my back could use a little bit of a break, and arms from kayaking there. We logged a lot of miles this morning. I know you guys don't get to see everything that goes on here, but trust me, I logged a lot of miles paddling this morning, especially going against the current and stuff. But anyway, enough complaining there. We are going to grab the kayak, continue our way along the island here. So since we got a couple fish on those Yo-Zuris, we are going to hang it up for a couple and go back to using the Bass Pro Shop lure. So we got to give both of these lures a fair chance at catching fish today. Alright, so one conclusion I think I can make here is that these Bass Pro lures, they cast, you see I can get a pretty decent cast on them, but I find myself wanting to pick up the Yo-Zuri lure to cast for these fish rather than the Bass Pro lure. My setups are pretty close, and I know I actually usually this setup that I'm using right now with the Bass Pro lure usually cast a little bit better most of my lures, but you can see that one, it kind of just doesn't, you know what though, it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. The lure doesn't have a lot of weight to it, so that means that it's not traveling as far. So when I'm going to say that if you are looking to do a lot of casting off of the beaches or jetties, inlets or anything like that, or even doing what I am doing right now, I'd say so far the Yo-Zuri lures or the more expensive lures are better for that kind of thing. And I mean, you guys saw this Bass Pro lure was killing it when we were trolling. I mean, it was doing just as good, if not better, than the Yo-Zuri. It's attracting some great attention. And I have gotten some hits with it. Like I said, the snook did follow it earlier before casting it from the beach over here. But when it comes to just sitting here casting it, getting a nice cast and how it plays and everything like that, so far I am preferring the Yo-Zuri over the Bass Pro. Well, my GoPro overheated there for a second, so I did not capture fighting this beautiful fish on camera, but we did hook ourselves a mangrove snapper here with the Yo-Zuri, which was definitely interesting. I'll show you guys. There was a big old bait ball over there I wanted to show you. It's over there in the water, but we're gonna let this little mangrove snapper go. Okay, you guys can take a look right there. You see the mullet swimming around, and there's this little dark patch. You might even be able to see the bait fish. That is just a whole entire ball of bait fish. Now, in my definitely not professional opinion here, that school is kind of staying really tight in that ball, and they're kind of just like circling around. There's fish, the mullet and the houndfish are swimming around them, but they're kind of not budging, which makes me think that there are better predators around that are keeping these guys in this little circle like this. So I'm going to cast around the school. You guys saw something right there. I'm going to cast around this school in hopes that there are some predators waiting on the outside. Fish on, guys. Oh, and it's a good one. Oh, guys, this is a big fish. Okay, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for today. On the Yo-Zuri. This is a great fight. Wow, is that a grouper? Oh my god, guys, I got a grouper. I think there's some sort of structure down here. Well, there has to be some sort of structure because a grouper wouldn't go without any structure. But take a look at that. Beautiful fish right there. You guys see that right there on the Yo-Zuri? I don't know what kind of grouper that is because there are so many grouper species down here in Florida. But we're gonna get him dehooked. I'll throw up on screen what he is. We're gonna get him dehooked, released safely, because he's definitely not gonna be a keeper grouper. Well, I don't know what I just showed you guys with that, but I want to get a good photo there with the grouper. But as soon as I dehooked him, he jumped out of my hands, spined me in the finger, and swam off. But I got some good shots for you guys of that grouper. What an awesome catch though today. Okay, so the Yo-Zuri was able to capture a grouper. Now I think it's only fair if we start throwing around the Bass Pro around the same area, because where there's one, there's got to be more fish like that. So let's go see if the Bass Pro has got what it takes to keep up with the Yo-Zuri here. And the Bass Pro is on with a nice fish. That is what we are talking about. And tying the drag just a little bit here. Had nice and loose for trolling. It's a nice fish, guys, on the Bass Pro lure. Only about 3 casts after that grouper. There's got to be some structure down there because I feel like he keeps taking me into it. So I'm not really able to move him. Yeah, I think we're in something. So we're gonna work our way around. Try to see if we can get him out. We're gonna keep putting on the heat a little bit on him. See if we can pull him out. Tighten up the drag. That does not seem to be working. There was definitely a fish on because I felt them. So what we're gonna do, this is the last resort, guys. When you get hooked up into a fish and he takes it into structure, you open the bail. Against all instinct of keeping the hook tight and everything, you open up the bail for a little bit, you let some line out, you let the fish think that he escaped, and then you try reeling him in. You're hoping that he swims out of the structure, and that way you can get him out and away from the structure. So you're hoping he swims out thinking he's free, but he's really not. So we'll see. Oh, we got him. He's out. See, it worked perfectly. Now we're just gonna put the heat on him, crank him out. He's trying to get back in the structure. Guys, that worked flawlessly. Oh, it's a big fish. What is it? Oh, it looks like another grouper. Wow. What an epic fight, guys. What an absolutely epic fight. Check out that grouper. That might be a small Goliath. Could be a black grouper. I think it's one of those two. Nonetheless, an absolutely awesome fish right there. Look at him on the Bass Pro. So look at that. Bass Pro Shop lures work. Oh, wait, guys, look. He has a crab inside his mouth. That crab was inside his mouth. Oh my God, that's epic. Oh, wow. They're feasting down there. Okay, here we go, guys. I got redemption. I really wanted to get a picture of my last grouper, and I fumbled that bag big time. So we have a chance of redemption here to get a picture with this bigger grouper. I can't believe that worked to open up the bail, let him swim out. Woo. I'm gonna get the fish grips on him this time instead of using my hands. So that way I actually get a photo with this guy. And whoa, this is where Bass Pro Shops is getting cheap, guys. I just bent the heck out of this treble hook with the pliers trying to get the hook out. Wow, that's a little disappointing right there. Oh my God, these treble hooks are terrible. Here we go, guys. Absolutely epic fish. Not sure what kind of grouper this is, but we're not gonna keep them out of the water for too long here. Just gonna get the photo and release them. Okay, we got our shot. We're gonna revive this fish here with the awesome fish grips. If you guys don't have a pair of these, I highly recommend them. They're lifesavers when it comes to fishing out here. So here we are, reviving our grouper. He's seeming pretty good. Gills are moving. This is what's awesome about these fish grips, guys. You could just stand here, revive your fish, let them rest from that fight. Open up your fish grips, and off he goes. Just like that. What an absolute epic catch, guys. Woo! But something we have to talk about here that's not so epic is this Bass Pro lure. This is not good, guys. Wait until you see this. All right, here's our Bass Pro lure that just caught that nice grouper, right? But look what happened to these treble hooks. You guys see how bent out of shape those are? Those are from me using the pliers to get them out. And these hooks were just as stuck as any treble hooks would get stuck into a fish. And you can't have the treble hook bending when you're trying to get it out. That really stiff backing of a treble hook when you're trying to turn against the opposite way it went in gives you a little bit of leverage, and it gets you to actually get the treble hook out of the fish's mouth. When the hook just bends like it did there, it made it really hard to get the treble hooks out of this grouper's mouth, prolonging the amount of time the grouper has to be out of the water, and overall just leading to a not great fishing experience. So Bass Pro Shops lure might be catching fish and might have caught a bigger grouper than the Yo-Zuri did, but the Yo-Zuri's treble hook quality is way better than Bass Pro Shops. If you were to buy these Bass Pro Shops lures, I would almost say just buy a pack of treble hooks with them and just switch them out immediately, because that is not something you guys want to deal with. All right, so what better way to end this video today than with that absolutely epic lure, an epic fight with the Bass Pro Shops lure there. So I found that the Bass Pro Shop lure here that cost just $2.50 was finding just as many fish as the $15 Yo-Zuri lure right here. Now this Yo-Zuri lure costs about 7 times as much as the Bass Pro Shop lure. $2.50, $15. Now this Bass Pro Shops lure was catching just as many fish as the Yo-Zuri lure was. So that means that the Bass Pro Shops lure is worth it, right guys? Well, maybe not necessarily. If you guys are new to fishing, or you're an experienced fisherman, you're balling on a budget like I am and can't go popping $15 for a lure to go lose it every time, this Bass Pro Shops lure is a great deal for $2.50. But as you guys saw in that last clip, when I was getting the treble hooks out of that grouper's mouth, just simply using the pliers, it was bending the hooks, which means on big fish that you hook up into, you're gonna have to play your drag really light, because you're gonna fear those hooks bending just like they did when I put the pliers to them. Now with the $15 Yo-Zuri lure, you do not have to worry about that. These treble hooks are very strong. They're not going to bend on you, and they're also not going to rust as quickly as the Bass Pro Shop lures will. So like I mentioned earlier, maybe you want to buy a bunch of these Bass Pro Shops lure and switch out the treble hooks, because I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't think I'm going to use these with those original treble hooks, just because if I do hook a big fish, I know those treble hooks are going to bend on me and I'm going to be really upset. So I'm probably going to change out the treble hooks on all my Bass Pro lures, but I highly recommend these lures to you guys. They catch just as many fish. Now I did mention earlier in the video, one thing I definitely liked about the Yo-Zuri better was the way that it cast, especially the one that I have on my pole right now, which is the advanced weighted system, which allows it to just fly further and then still play really naturally. So for casting from the shore, from the beach, from the pier, I really like actually the Yo-Zuri better for that. So overall, I think the Yo-Zuri is definitely a better lure than the Bass Pro Shops, but depends on your budget. It's 7 times the value. If you just want to go out there and catch fish and have fun and, you know, not have to worry about losing a $15 lure, the Bass Pro Shops lure is a great option for you. That being said, I am going to wrap up this video here. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys hit the like button and consider subscribing down below. It really helps me out a lot. And, you know, a huge thank you to some of my subscribers like Joe Williams and some other people who have been commenting on my videos recently. I really appreciate your comments. I just love interacting with you guys in the comment section. If you guys have any questions about anything that I do, or criticisms, or anything you want to say, just drop it down in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. Now, I am going to be cleaning that ladyfish that you guys saw me catch earlier today, and we are going to be making fish fritters with it, which is going to be absolutely delicious. I've never made it before, but I saw Land Shark Outdoors, aka Vic, and Brooke make it, and it really inspired me. It looked delicious, so I'm gonna try making that ladyfish. I'm gonna make fish fritters out of it. Now, if you guys are interested in watching me clean and cook this ladyfish up, I'm gonna make a separate video just for that, making the fish fritters. If the video is already up by the time that you're watching this video right now, it's going to be one of the end cards at the end of the video. If not, if you guys are watching this right when this video releases, thank you guys very much. You guys are true loyal fans. But that video unfortunately is not up yet, so make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys are notified when that video does drop. That being said, until my next video, remember to keep living salty.